Hello, this is Player22 and I'm doing a voiceover of me playing Fortnite. Now, I will say that there is just a few, there's quite a few stores with the internet during this video, because what happened was, well, I didn't have my main rig with me at the time. The computer I used wasn't as good as my main rig. In fact, I think the power supply's dying on that one, so I had to lower a bunch of power stuff, and well, now all the stuff's at default settings, I think. I got the RAM for it before the RAM shortage, but it was when I didn't know what I was doing with computers. So the timing is bad on the RAM. I got, for that, the specs are an i5 11400K. It's not got the turbo cores turned on because I just had some problems with them. I think that they don't work properly because the PC the CPU temperature seems to triple when I have them on. It's not like I don't know, a really low temperature and then it goes up to it's like it's at 40 degrees normally, and it's going up to around 100. That's like 40 degrees when I'm gaming. Yeah, not quite tripling, but I got an RTX 3050 in there. OC edition. Now it's on the base settings. I would have had it overclocked normally, but in that system, since the power supply is dying, I can't do too much for overclocking. So like normally I'd be getting double the frames if I didn't have the Wi-Fi adapter that's in there, which I don't remember which one it was, but it's not so bad that it's like the game's unplayable. But yeah, it was like some £1.50 one that I just snagged off Amazon when I was, well, on a really tight budget for parts. And yeah, so I think the RAM timing, what's that? That's CL20. Yeah, and the computer doesn't quite work too well. Like one of the RAMs not broken on the motherboard. But anyway, I'm just gonna play the video now. But yeah, that's why the performance isn't up to the standards that it's normally at, and it might be like that for the next few Fortnite videos that I do. Just because I'm doing a lot of the other stuff on my main rig, so I might not have time to do that as well on there. Alright, let's play the video. Well, I'll play the video and do a voiceover. Should probably change that to DirectX 12. For the first few minutes, I basically went through settings. Then you get to see what they are, and I wasn't sure what I'd left them as. Because I hadn't played Fortnite in a while. Especially not on this PC. I meant like the PC that I was using. I changed them stuff. I think I changed some stuff while I was playing as well, because I was having the Wi-Fi problems. So I decided, why not lower the frame rate all the way down to 60 hertz or 60 FPS or whatever. So not hertz, 60 FPS. 60 hertz would have been what would have been able to see though, I guess. Or is that no, that's how much I don't know. I know that hertz, so frames is the amount of frames that are produced. Hertz is what you can see, I think, or what the monitor can normally do, actually. And then I don't know why I just sat there. Well, no, I think I do actually. I think I just sat there because I thought I'd readied up and was just waiting for me to ready up. I probably thought about cutting this bit out, but I may as well just chat through it. I've already started doing this recording, so why not? Oh yeah, this is me having audio problems and switching my headset to my PC because the jack in or the slot, whatever, my actual the headset plug or headset, the jack on the PC was better than the monitor one, and my headset thing is cable, the metal bit at the end is bent. Well, for the headset that's over at my mum's. A lot more videos I'll upload from my dad's because that's where I'm signed in on YouTube, and that's where I make most of them as well, because that's where my most powerful PC is, and probably will stay. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't go to 1080p. Okay. And then there's some problems with Reader statistics for me. I think it opened itself twice, so I went to close it and I thought I was just going to get it entirely off the screen. But obviously it didn't. I don't know if there's an issue here. There shouldn't have been an issue here with the recording because the processing's set to high, but it looks like the sound might be slightly. Well, I think it was just that moment there where it was just a bit out of tune with the video. Okay, I might do another Fortnite video today. It'll probably look a bit better than this. So I've got it on Epic settings, and I've got it on Epic. I think I got some of them on Epic, some of the settings on Epic settings. Not all of them, because when I'm doing stuff alone, I'm doing stuff alone here, but when I'm when I'm not making videos, sometimes I set the stuff up to 45p on my main rig. On the other one, I definitely don't set it up to 45p. Now it started dying. It's like it's not handling too loud. Well, actually, it's handling 10p okay, but it's definitely got some issues because it's handling a 1080p about as well as my GTX 970 did when I had that. So yeah, there's also a motherboard issue. I think there's a motherboard issue with the PCIe socket. So plus it's the different generations, so the GPU's been common to the motherboard anyway. But I think it's sort of firing at some point. So I think I turned it on and off. And turned it back on, or do I just leave it? No, I think it's on for just like a second. And then the HDMI socket stopped working. No, it's a display socket, and then puts it into the HDMI socket. It worked on the GPU, and then it puts it into the display part socket. Different display part socket, and it seemed to work. But then I think I had my old overclocking settings, and they were still working at that point. Yeah, I took the GPU out at some point just to check it, just to see if I don't know that it's like, well, something like the pins were slowly taking damage because the motherboard was like burning or something like that. The pins are fine. The motherboard socket's plugged in, but it's, well, the power supply's the thing that's, the power supply's the main problem. But yeah, the motherboard isn't in good condition. I buggered something when putting it into this build. Not this build, the build I used that has the RTX 3050 in it. Yeah, I clipped something that was putting it in that. Not clip. I think I accelerated a bit on it, and I think it put pressure on it. Put too much pressure on it by accident, and it clicked, and then it didn't like click back to where it was. So it's just kind of slightly buggered. I don't know, it was like a weird back bit that hovered above part of the motherboard. I don't know what it was there for, but when I put it in this new PC, it started doing a thing where pardon me, would still be powered to the USB sockets when the PC was off. I don't know, that could be something weird to do with the power supply as well. I don't know how that stuff works. I know I'm really good at building. So really CPU, and I put a new thermal pad in it, and I put some MX6 in it. So like my RX 6800 probably have better temps than some other people's. My RX 6800 Sapphire Edition, because I think that they use MX4. I've got MX6. It might not be much better. People would clean those once a year. So I don't know. I think that isn't. That maybe isn't great. I mean, it's alright, but like. I like clean mine. I don't know. Every 1 to 3 months. I don't have to, like. Only once in the past 3 months. I'm going to clean it in the next 2 months. It's just I have to, so I decided that I've got to clean it every 3 months, but I ended up doing it earlier because I want to do maintenance on it. I want to do something with it. So I did. And I'll make it. Which is good. It is. I have to upgrade my power supply in this PC. In my main rig, I've got a CX750. One of course has 750 watt power supplies, and it's good, but it's really good actually. But I had to disable Intel's boost technology, because if I have that on, and I have like even the tiniest power spike, it's the boost down. It's like very close. The power but yeah, it won't be great. So I was gonna put a 1000 watt power supply in it, and then I was gonna overclock the GPU. Since, well, I did some research, and it seemed like the RTX 3080 was like a good match for my CPU. And then the RX 6800 is just a cheaper version of that. And yeah, that kind of, well, with the games I'm playing, the GPU is holding back the CPU, and it's doing it even more when I'm recording. I know I can probably overclock it a good amount now if I. As soon as I start gaming, because like the CPU starts using a bunch of power, it causes a problem. Where the GPU just doesn't have enough power. So have to go to coffee. Just stress tests for just the GPU, and the GPU can handle quite a bit. But yeah, when the CPU gets going, then the overclocking just comes straight off. It's not a massive bottleneck. Well, when I'm recording, there is a decent bottleneck, but at least when I'm not recording, there's not that much of a bottleneck. But I know that I could just, if I just overclock my GPU, I'd be I'd get a good amount more out of well, yeah, I wouldn't need to like overclock my GPU and my CPU to get more performance on my PC. I can overclock my GPU as much as possible without adding power to, or sending more power to it, and I would have it probably wouldn't be a bottleneck then, at least not on certain games. In 1440 p or 1080p, it could be, but not on like, well, yeah, I don't think it would. I do like the higher graphical settings. Like most people would probably go on medium settings for a lot of the games now. I don't have Fortnite on like black settings because, well, that's a killer. But other things, like Fortnite 4, I have it on ultra settings. It's not just like when you go on Steam and you click, well, not when you go on Steam, when it comes up with the game launcher and you click on ultra, like I go into the distance thing as well. I actually change the individual settings because not all of them go to ultra and stuff like that. I do that with a lot of my games. Where I just set them to the max settings. I think I said that we go the resolution minus 5 frame rates to me. I don't think that it does so much anymore. Alright, I thought that it was that on some games like this, that it was just the anti-aliasing feature was not good. It's a resolution. I think I haven't tested things, but I started changing the resolution about on and then well, I realised, oh, you know that thing. That's not always anti-aliasing. So I was watching YouTube on my tablet and the Wi-Fi is quite bad on that. I remember for a while I thought the max resolution was 720p on it. turns out it's just videos I was watching. It wasn't good watch resolution. I think it was weird because like my TV. Games TV go to the TV. It wouldn't do this. It wouldn't do this what's it called? Tablet though, it goes to 720p. Even like I go and click on the thing and see how it's 1080p wouldn't come up. And I think it was like this for, it might have been like this for a few videos. It was watching YouTube. And then it was all of a sudden able to change it to 1080p. No, it's not because it's videos. So, they're just like that because why would they go to 1080p on my TV? Especially, I don't know, weird for tablet stuff. Because it's, well, why would it do it for everything else? Also, why when there's an illumination in phones? If I want to, I don't really mind it, but why does it save when I die? That's what I don't get about it. See what's happening. Right, I'm back. I'm probably going to stop the video at the 1 hour mark because it's not a very good video. But well, I don't know. You people might like it. Personally, I'd rather just sit and do the long drive for a few hours. I quite like it. And Fallout 4 wasn't that bad, but I've got a bunch of episodes that just cut up into pieces. I've got to sort through it and I've not named stuff. So, for now, because the videos weren't fun to make. I'll play it when I want to play it, and I'll probably record it at some point, piece it together, but I don't actually like to watch. And then when I finally get, I don't know, a rush or whatever, not a rush, like I feel like I want to play Fallout 4, I'll play Fallout 4. But if I get to a point where if I'm at a point where I don't feel like I can play any game, I couldn't play games because, well, it's my job, it's getting out of it, but like, when I have a choice between, like, different ways of doing it, I'm gonna pick the ways that I like more. Probably a little bit more successful actually. My first Fallout 4 videos didn't go that well. I'll probably just just abandon that series, just start an entirely new one, because that one went so horribly wrong. I'm one of those players because in places where like they don't need to game to gun or mark up a location. Yeah, do that. Don't mark up the location now when we're not going to it. I mark up the gun I'm not picking up. I'm not going to pick up. Just took me a minute to figure out what. I think I eventually got into it. Eventually got into one. Oh, stay down. Close. Fun being down there. figured while I was down there I was going to find a shotgun and me. It wasn't maybe too many people down there. And then I heard that. Maybe somebody's teleporting. Stop the video after this match. Normally I'd probably be doing more talking during Fortnite gameplay because I don't know. Alright, well, I'll see you in the video, so there you go. And goodbye.